guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I am so happy you found us. I'm Lisa, and this is Creativity and Inspiration. How is your Monday going? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we are talking all about vintage sewing patterns. These are such a great thing to have in your stash. I mean, they're very, very versatile, and you can find them at garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores. They really are just a whole bunch of things rolled into one. Plus, if the pieces are all there and you know how to sew, you can create some awesome vintage clothes. I can't sew that well, but I'm learning. I'm trying. So I'm going to walk you through some of the most basic, easy things you can do with these to a little bit harder. And I mean, you can use these. If you notice the title, it had a plus at the end. And when I add that plus, it's because you can use them in your home. You can, there's just so many uses. So I thought I'd start with some of the easier uses for these. And of course, as tissue paper. If you're giving a gift and you're wrapping it for a crafter, say you've got them markers or paper, or you found just a bunch of great stuff at the thrift store, which is what I did for my sister last year. You can use vintage sewing patterns as tissue paper. It's amazing, and it's part of the gift. I love doing that. You can also use this if you know artists, mixed media artists, collage artists. This is perfect. This is a great base. It gives a lot of texture when you use it on a canvas or a mixed media piece. Love this. I use a lot of this for that. Also, you can use this in your home. You can make really cool placemats out of this. You just get them the size you want. You can back them with regular cardstock if you want. You don't have to. All you have to do is laminate both sides, and you've got a really interesting placemat. I mean, you would pick the most interesting parts of the pattern. They're really cool, and they're also a great gift if you know somebody that loves to sew. You can also use this on furniture. Again, if you want to create a texture under paint, add these to furniture. You can add these to walls. You can create really cool curtains out of these. So don't limit yourself just to desktop creations. Think big. Okay. But what can we do with them in our journals, our planners, all of that sort of thing? Well, I've got a lot of ideas for you. So why don't you come in a little closer for these, and we'll just jump into the rest of this video. As usual, all the finished items that I say will be at the end will be at the end. Of course, right? Okay, what are some more simple items, but they go... What are some more simple things you can do with vintage sewing patterns, but they go in journals or planners? Well, one thing is you can cut interesting sections out like this and make washi tape. I love to do this. All I do is cut out whatever I like in the pattern that I think is interesting and would add something to a page in my planner or my journal. Then I get my double-sided tape, and I attach it. And then I have this awesome tape that I can use in my planner, or like I said, my planner, my journal, whatever. Also, if you do it like this, you can also use it as a border at the bottom or on the side. You could also fold them over and use them like big tabs on the page. So you could have like a tab on your page if you wanted to. They could be a border on the top or bottom, or it could be a piece of washi tape, like I said. I like this piece, but it's big for a piece of washi tape. But you know what? This would be a cool belly band. What I would do is trim it down following the lines, put a backing on it, probably some cardstock, and then put that in on a page as a belly band. Because it does have such interesting lines on it. Besides using it in your journal as borders and everything, you could also decoupage it onto a page and make a really cool page. It would have a lot of texture, it would have a lot of interest, and it would be a really cool addition to any journal. And this will be at the end. I will show you what it looks like. You could also, if you're making a journal and sewing in the pages, you could add these in as a whole, like page, 2 pages in a journal, 4 pages in a journal, if you do it that way. But if you have an altered book, you can just decoupage it onto one of the pages and you will get that same interest and sound, which I love. I love the sound. Besides using it as tape or as a page, you can also decoupage it onto guest checks, tags, even envelopes. And you could still mail this. Think of mailing this to a crafter or a sewer for their birthday. I mean, how cool. Because this is the return side up here. You could put your return on here. And then, of course, these you could build up your decorations as always. Or you could leave it. This one, what I would do, because like I said, I like the lines. Let me find. What I would do on this guest check is just come in and round my corners. Like that. Poke a hole at the top. And put some vintage cotton through it, cotton fabric through it, or believe it or not, you can even take, let me get my scissors here. You can take a piece of vintage pattern and roll it up, except you want the different lines showing. You just roll it up. Then you could add washi tape to it after you roll it up. You could wrap it in a little bit of clear tape if you wanted to kind of seal the ends. Do you. Whatever you think you want to do is what you could do, okay? You could tape it all down, whatever. I'm just going to roll it just a little bit more. And then I'm going to poke it through my hole like it is a piece of ribbon. Like that. And I'm being careful because my guest check is still kind of damp from decoupaging it on. And then you could tie it. And you could use vintage sewing pattern as a ribbon. Pretty cool, huh? So those are the simple things you can do with this. Like I said, it's extremely versatile. I just love the sound, and it adds such a cool texture. And the lines, they give movement because there's curved lines, there's straight lines. Just a lot of interesting things on a vintage pattern, or on any pattern for that matter. They don't have to be vintage, but you kind of hate to, use up a pattern that's all there, right? Because somebody that sews could use it. So what else could we do? Well, the next things are a little bit more complicated than what we've talked about so far. And the first one is we can make a triple pocket. It's just really simple. All you do is you fold it the same way we make the book page pockets. you take a piece of your vintage pattern and you square it off. You can make it whatever size you want. This one is, and it's probably not perfectly square, but square enough. 9 by 9 roughly. And I folded it in half, like that, like a hot dog, okay? Like a hot dog. Then I opened it up. I took the right top corner and folded it about 3/4 of the way. There's our center fold right there. So I didn't fold this all the way. I folded it 3/4 of the way to the center fold. And then this one I folded in, but I folded it all the way to the center fold. Then I folded it back like a hot dog. Okay, there it is. And now I'm going to take this pointed end, fold it like that. And that's kind of wide for a pocket, so I'm just going to fold it over one. And there I have a great 3-tier pocket. And let me show you. It's 1, 2, and then the 3, because this will be on the page. And how do you get it to stay put? You just sew it or glue it along each side like that. And then at the back, if you have any folded over paper like that, you glue that, but leave the top open because you want to be able to use it for a pocket. Super simple. Decorate how you like. I'll go ahead and show you this one. I'm not going to decorate it because, you know, we know how to decorate, but let me just show you what I would do. I'm going to stitch it real quick, so I'll be right back. As you can see, I just stitched it all around in red so you could see it. Stitched across the top because of all the layers of the folds. Stitched on all the sides. Then, where is my scissors? I've got to cut that tail off. Oops. Okay, there. Then I'm just going to take my page here. Put it in the center and tape it on 3 sides. Okay, I'm going to put it in the center. I'm going to get my double-sided tape. You could glue it down, and I'm just going to tape it on the 3 sides, on the side, and the bottom, leaving the top open because that's going to be a pocket. And then you just put it in the center. And there is your 3-tier pocket with a vintage sewing pattern. Super simple. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The last thing that I can do with a vintage sewing pattern is to make a booklet. And it's like a fold-out booklet. And this is just all pattern, that's it. And it opens like that. And then it'll close with a little close here. But it's like a fold-out booklet. How cool, right? If you don't want a fold-out booklet like that, you can also make it a pocket. You can stitch it on the bottom and the 2 sides and just have a big pocket like purse. You could make it a tri-pocket. You can make it a double pocket. You could sew it on the 2 sides, and so that's your 1 pocket. And then when you attach it into your journal, you could attach it on the bottom and 1 side and have a tuck or a back pocket. I like it as a tri-fold. I think it's something different. Then it could sit in a pocket in your journal, and you could pull it out. You could put photos in it with writing. If you make it big enough, you could make it smaller if you wanted to. It's just something fun and different. And aren't we always looking for new things to put in our journal? New ephemera, new embellishments. I think this is a great thing to add. All I did was take a piece of pattern paper and made it all into a long rectangle. And I got it a size that I liked. This size is, the width is 4 inches. And the length, and I did a trifold just because I wanted to. I have an idea what I might use it for. But let's see. And the length is 22 inches. You might not want yours that long. You could certainly make a trifold shorter. It doesn't have to be 22 inches long. And I actually am going to sew that because I want it to be like a little pocketbook almost. Except it's going to open like that. Now something else cute you could do, since this is made out of pattern paper, you could make a trifold, make it about paper dolls if you wanted to, fashion, and, you know, cut out a dress for the top layer. Let's see. I'm not going to do this, but I'll give you an idea. So cut a piece of paper to fit. This is your cover or your front. And if you wanted to make it about fashion, you know, put you a dress, maybe put some lace on the side, and then at the top, put one of these pearl stick-on beads at the top, so when you fold it over, and I would leave the fold over natural, don't cover it up, and put, well, let's move this down a little bit like that, and then you could put one of these pearls right here at the top and make that your closure, and you would get something like that. Wouldn't that be super cute? So let's do that. And you can glue this, you can, you know, tape it, whatever you want. Of course, if you're new here, I use double-sided tape a lot because it's fast and I'm not waiting on glue to dry while I'm showing you guys all these ideas. And like I said, this is the front. It could be front of our pocket, front of our fold out, whatever you want it to be. Now before I attach the dress, I'm measuring where my fold is. That's where my closure is going to be. So I'm going to use some decoupage and put my dress towards the bottom down here. And there's our pearl necklace, and we will just put a little ribbon on there to close it. But see, this is a great way, and it's so cute because this is a vintage pattern and we're using it maybe to showcase dresses, and it'll unfold like that. Okay, I'll finish decorating this and have it all done at the end of the video for you. And guys, if you don't have fabric, don't worry about it. You can cut the dress out of paper for sure. I was just trying to give some different textures and give you guys as many possible choices for ideas as I could. Okay guys, so I finished it and I kind of wanted to talk about this one, but let's go back and just look at all the other ones. Here is our belly band and our tag with our ribbon vintage sewing pad. Here's our belly band, our tag, and our ribbon, all made from a vintage sewing pattern. Just super simple. Love the lines, love the shape. All I did was cut along the pattern here. And then on this one, I cut out the dart. And then this was just a piece of vintage sewing pattern that I kind of rolled up and made into a ribbon. Super fun, super easy. You don't see them a lot. Just new ideas for things that we've been using a while. Then on this page, we have our 3-pocket made from a vintage sewing pad. And again, it's just 3 pockets. You've got the one in the front right there, the one behind that, and then the very back of it as well. You could also make on pages, which I talked about if you were creating a journal where you were putting the pages in, or you could decoupage them on a book page and then decorate your book page from there. I like this one because it's decorating envelope. How cute to send somebody a birthday card that loves to sew or loves to craft. Again, tissue paper in the boxes as well. Great for tissue paper. And then lastly, let's talk about our trifold. On the front, I decorated it with the dress just in case you wanted to do like a sewing themed or a clothes fashion themed trifold. Inside though, I did it a little differently. The second one, I did like a family one, like this is my grandmother and my great grandmother, and I put a piece of paper. I could write about all the sewing they did. I was thinking this would be super cute, like if you sewed, if your mom sewed, then if your grandmother, great grandmother sewed, you could make it like a trifold, something like that, that the tradition was carried on. And it would be a great gift. You know, holidays are coming up, of course, birthdays. Anyway, that's what I was thinking of, but I also wanted to do this one if somebody wanted to make it more sewing related as far as, you know, fashion. So anyway, that is the idea for the trifold as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and that little bell because we have awesome videos planned through the end of the year into next year for you guys. And don't forget, on Wednesday, we have an awesome bonus video coming for you. We are unboxing that small moving box full of craft supplies from my friend Elizabeth. Can't wait to get into that. And yes, I have not opened it yet. I mean, I opened it and I saw the very top. I stopped. All real reactions for you guys. I promise I haven't looked in it. So I'm super excited. I'm ready to film that. So, yay! Again, thank you for being here. Oh, I do want to apologize if I'm not responding to you. It's taken me a few days. That's because YouTube is not letting me know I have comments fast enough. Thank you, YouTube. So please don't think I'm ignoring your comments. I definitely don't see them. As soon as I see them, I do respond. Take care, guys. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, do, because I got great videos coming. Bye.